Today we're going to make what is potentially the most controversial dish in Scotland. We're going to make stovies. So I think I've got my tin hat at the radio because goodness me, the last couple of times that we've got into discussions on Twitter over stovies, it literally has turned into Stoviegate. Hashtag Stoviegate. Mad that there doesn't seem to be any subject for recipes in Scotland that seems to cause as much bother as making stovies. I'll go into a wee bit about it in a wee while, but this recipe is my recipe. So straight away I shall apologise that it won't be everybody else's, but it's mine. So I make it with sausages, just ordinary links. I've got a dozen here. But first and foremost we're going to get some heat in a couple of pans, just for frying. You don't need to do this. If you are in a hurry, then just use them direct. I prefer to fry them up just to give them a wee bit of colour. Onions too, but today we're going to actually use a mixture of raw and previously fried onions, because once you fry them it just releases a wee bit of sweetness. So we'll just get these up quite high actually, because you're wanting them to brown but not cook. That's for the sausage anyway, you want them to brown, not cook. So like I say, we've got a dozen sausages. We, for today, had missed the butchers, so we've literally just got Tesco's. I think they were just the finest range this time, but they're just what's called chipolatas. So you're getting 12 for £2, so it's actually reasonably good value for money. We're going to use 1.5 kilos of potatoes. That's 1.5 kilos once they're peeled of potato. Now that should be enough to feed 4. You'll know your family better than I do, so if you think your family would need more or less than that, just adjust it. I'm cooking for 2 tonight, however I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough for 2 nights, so I'm obviously there for cooking for 4. So if we just get these onions on the go, like I say, I'm going to cook 2 because it's a case of like sacre bleu because I'm going to have an onion gravy with my stovies toward the end. It's not Mr. Cameraman Kenny's favourite dinner, so if I make a little bit of gravy for him it seems to improve the dish. At least he eats it then. So I'm using lard as well, I should have said that. I'm not using fat for this, again, vegetable fat rather. Again, that's your choice. I'm using lard because, well, it's not going to be a healthy dinner anyway with a dozen sausages going in it, but I think they've taken out a lot of the fat from sausage. And for me anyway, for stovies, you want to be left with that, you know, lip, sticky, greasy feeling at the end of it. Probably not selling this very well, but that's what I like. Remember, like, well, years and years ago, Scotch pies, and used to, gosh, you could feel the grease running down your chin. The hypermarket in Glasgow, oh my goodness, we used to go through there, Dad and I, because Dad was based in, they worked for the cooperative, and because they had the big warehouse place, the hypermarket, just underneath the Kingston Bridges. So we used to go there and we would get this Scotch pie, hot Scotch pies, and like I say, grease would be running down your face, and a hot donut. Oh my goodness, what's not to love? Honestly, I don't know, we were all so thin back then too, I have no idea, it must have been just, it was a treat. So straight away we're going to get 2 onions on to fry. I like a lot of onion in my stovies, because I mean there's not really very much going in here for flavour. So we're wanting a couple of onions on to fry, but I won't use all the cooked onions in the dish. Some of it will be kept back for making the gravy, because you can make gravy from very little, and tonight we're going to make it just from some onion. But like I say, we're not needing any of this to cook really. We're just wanting it to get some colour, just to add some colour to your dish. If you're worried about your lard burning, just pop a wee bit of vegetable oil in amongst it, and that should stop it from burning up. Turn it down a wee bit, make sure this is hot. And like I say, we're literally just wanting these to brown up. Now Stovies. Oh, actually I was going to just say that about the Scotch pies maybe not being quite so greasy. Kenny, Mr. Healthy, he likes to be Mr. Healthy. He started putting a wee bit of lard or oil at the top of the Scotch pie, just because he thinks that we've done away with what we used to do, like the good greasy feel. Not very healthy, but like I say, we don't do that kind of thing very often, so why not once in a blue moon. So just let the onions saute down here, and then we'll talk a wee bit about Stovies. Maybe need to talk up about Stovies has come about, I would imagine, from my various conversations, because it's a stovetop dinner to be made with whatever you want. Now, I believe traditionally Stovies would have been just made with the leftover Sunday roast, so you would have maybe had your own dripping and things from the meat, and you would just mix it up with the potato and cook it for the next day. It obviously then would get adapted. My dad, for example, he loved using the Sunday roast, what was left over. He would make a curry on the Monday. So that is perhaps how, when we had Stovies, we had it made from sausage. And I suppose back in the day when you're feeding a family of 5, it probably was quite an economic dinner as well. I just like it for a change. But I know also, I think it's Dave Taylor, if you're watching Dave, he makes it with square slice, which I haven't actually tried. We've had suggestions from Mary Todd, MSP. She fancies making it with vegetarian haggis. Like I say, it seems to just be made from whatever you want. We've even had people suggesting corned beef. But for me, that's corned beef hash. That's not Stovies. This is what I class as Stovies. But we're just, like I say, trying to get a wee bit of colour into these. I'll turn them up, let them burn a wee bit. And then I'm going to ask for some advice. No, we're not turning it into Helen's agony page or anything. But you might have noticed my hair's actually down this week. So I succumbed, not because I've not succumbed and washed it or anything like that, but I have succumbed and put an apple cider vinegar through it, because I cannot get rid of the last of my grease. And that's 9 weeks tomorrow since I've washed my hair with products, with shampoo and things. And everything I'm reading, I feel like my hair should by now be actually starting to look clean again. It's supposed to be self-cleaning, just like your dog and what have you, but mine isn't working. So if there's any, that's why I've left it down, because I mean you can see that there's still what looks like a bit of grease in it. Oh my goodness, we're getting a close-up. Ah, scary biscuits. So if anybody can advise me, I've heard that you can use baking soda. I don't know enough about these things. I would have thought baking soda would be quite harsh on your hair if you're actually stopping using products sometimes. But if anybody out there can advise me how to just get rid of what's presumably my scalp still producing far too much sebum, then please, it would be very much appreciated if there's anybody out there that can help. Alright. So whilst these are just getting some colour, I'll just pop up the last onion, which I'm going to just use raw. Because you're going to let your stuff cook for 45 minutes, so the onion obviously will cook, it'll just steam in that time. And we're going to have a stubborn one. Oh, I'll just go in a layer. Don't like doing that, that's a waste, but never mind. Roughly chopped, because it's not mattering if it's in big chunks. And then once we've done this, we're going to just start compiling. And stovies, it should just get done in layers. So we're going to start with potatoes, which I've obviously already peeled. Just get rid of this just now. Back in my kitchen as well, which is quite good. Quite nice working in my mum's, which was quite tough, as mothers are, you know. Oh, my kitchen was quite nice today. So, we've already, I've just used Lidl, Scottish obviously, keep Scotland the brand. Now when I say keep Scotland the brand, I don't mean it has to have a salt iron on it. I just mean, if possible, you know, draw attention to the fact that the produce is from Scotland, and find out, even if it ties suddenly it's Union Jacks and things, it'd be easier if we just stop putting flags on it altogether. Because the farmers in Perthshire and things, they don't necessarily know that when they send their catties off to get shipped south, that it's going to come back with a Union Jack or a salt tire. So just always try and check, and let's keep buying local, because after Brexit, well, we're certainly not wanting everything to be maybe coming in from abroad, you know, and suddenly the farmers are finding it difficult to get rid of their products. So today I'm just using, now Kenny told me what they were, but I'm not seeing what they're called. Oh, osprey. Ooh, sounds quite posh. We're using osprey potatoes today, just from Lidl. Just a general white taffy. It's not needing to be anything fancy for this. If you can, a dry potato's probably better. Again though, that's your preference. I like dry potatoes. Not so easy to get, I have to say these days. I never find it quite so easy to find dry potatoes. But we'll just leave that to the side just now. Let it finish cooking away. One or two wee bits of escaped onion. And get my pot. So, layers. You're wanting your potato to be quite chunky still, but not big. It's needing to cook. So I'm going to cut them into threes, like each half into three. And we're just basically wanting a bit of a layer. This is a big one, so this is getting stuck into four, because when it comes to the end of the Stovies cooking, you're wanting to be able to mix it up together and have some that's maybe like will go to kind of mush, but other bits that'll stay solid. So we'll just get a couple of these sausages, which bring into the fore my favourite implement in the kitchen. Just chop them up, as big or as small as you like. Because you're just wanting to get some flavour. And the reason I'm using lard for this is I'm actually going to pour this fats that are left right over the top of this potato. If you do like things really quite greasy, just put a wee drop of lard in amongst it. I'm not going to do that today. Make a pretence of being at least semi-healthy here. And then don't forget, each layer you're needing to season. If I can get my little, there we go. So just a wee drop of salt, because you're not putting any other flavours into this. Now, I like white pepper in this, but again, that's up to yourself. I just like it because it gives it that bit of a nip. So just back to building it up again. Now as you go closer to the top, you might want to make your tatty just a wee bit smaller, because obviously the stuff at the bottom is going to cook quicker than the stuff at the top. Stovies is a trial and error dish, you know. I could be making this tonight and it could be beautiful, and it might just be really quite mushy. So far I haven't made mushy too bad. You know, it doesn't come out like hash, like that's what I was saying about people using corned beef. That is a mushier type dinner. But for me, what was the advert used to say? Sausages are the boys. Now, don't all get on at me when you can't stop singing that on Wednesday when this goes out. But in this case, sausages are the boys. Wonder how many people watching this are going to be screaming at the television right now. That's not how you make stovies. Now, there might be a bit of an edit going on in this one. Kenny thinks it's maybe stopped filming, so fingers crossed. We'll just carry on. We do it all in one take, so you just need to bear with us if there's wee bits go wrong. Oh, get my salt here and my pepper. Just a wee bit. Use some stock if you wanted, but it's just as well just using ordinary salt and pepper. And then we're just about to get to the last layer. And like I say, this one you're probably wanting to be just that bit smaller. Do you think I'm feeding the 5,000 here? It should do at least 2 nights, hopefully. Probably could have been doing with a bit of a bigger pot, but never mind. It'll be fine. Because you're not going to be putting in like loads of water. It really is just going to be a wee handful. Like about 1 inch at the bottom. So if you can leave a gap so as you can get your finger in. And if it comes up to just about there, just past your knuckle, I would say that that is plenty water. And the last of the sausages in. And then we'll just get it on to cook. I mean, a lot of this you could have, you know, obviously I had my potatoes and that prepared in advance for this. And that saves some time. Oops. But as a meal goes, it's pretty quick to get it sorted. Because, as I said earlier, you're not actually needing to cook anything at this stage. The pot will take care of that. So, fingers washed. Got some rag here. A dish towel even. A little bit of salt for the top. Now obviously you'll know again if you've got somebody in the house that can't maybe take salt, then there will be some will come out your sausage already. So, like I said, about 1 inch of water. I'm not going to put my finger into this because it's hot. This one out the road. My cooker a quick wipe because we're not wanting it to all spark. Pot on, heat on, and then just cover it over, let it cook for 45 minutes and come back and see it then. Now this, what we've left here, is going to just make the gravy. So straight in with, I would say maybe about half a pint of water. Just with your onion. Now this won't actually need the full 45 minutes to cook because these onions are quite soft, but you're wanting them to have a little bit of cooking to get some flavour into it. So we're going to make a bit of flavour here with some garlic as usual. Now, I actually thought I wasn't going to be using garlic tonight making stovies, And here I am making a garlicky oniony gravy. I won't use salt. I'm going to use some of my Polish vegetable stock. Missed it when I was at my mum's. But he's maybe got it by now, my dad. I was telling him about it. Well, what we did get, Chinese supermarket. Oh, bay leaves. My goodness me, massive big bag of bay leaves. Oh, I can't remember, £1. Certainly wasn't much more than £1. 3 years sell by date. I would imagine we'll get through that in 3 years. So you're just letting this come up to the bubble and then cover it and cook that probably for 15 minutes just, and then come and switch it off whilst you're waiting on your stovies to finish cooking. So 45 minutes and we'll come back then. Hello. I came back after 45 minutes and my stovies, the potatoes, hadn't actually finished cooking. So this has had an hour now, but I think we're good to go. So it's better to check after 45 minutes. It's better to give it too little than too long. Now I'm going to show you just before I stir it round. Look at the liquid that's come out of this. Now I literally only put in 1 inch of water. I said to the knuckle, I actually meant the first join. Now if you'd put an awful lot of water in that, it really would be turned into mush. So just that wee inch of water. This has had an hour now and we're just going to literally mix it through. You're wanting all that juices to be absorbed. Now this stage of things is entirely up to you. You can leave it as chunky or as mushy as you want. That, I am not going to tell you what to do. Bad enough I'm telling you to make stovies with sausages, believe you me. But it's going to take a wee bit to absorb this liquid anyway. So this one is maybe going to not be quite as chunky as I sometimes like it. Oops. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm such a messy cook. But we probably should have used a bigger pot. But never mind anyway. So I'm just going to finish absorbing or getting all that wonderful juices, because that's that lip smacking flavour and feeling rather on your lips. Just get it muddled in, mixed in. Muddled in? Good grief. Anyway, we'll get it mixed in and that's all the liquid has been absorbed. Now tonight I would think personally this isn't needing gravy tonight, but we shall make it anyway. We'll just pop that to the side. I'm going to actually just put the heat underneath it just to let it steam a wee bit more. Get rid of that so as we don't have it all sparking. And then we're going to make the gravy. So heat under the onions, and now I gave that just about 20 minutes. That's all it needed. So out with the 2 bay leaves, no point leaving those in. And then just a simple thickener. So Bisto, just like your mummy would have used. I can't see past Bisto actually. I think I've said it before, I'm not one of these granules people. I like my Bisto and my corn flour. I think probably because you're then deciding almost like how much salt to use, because I think the granules can be a wee bit salty for me. Anyway, we've got about 1.5 teaspoons of Bisto powder to just 1 teaspoon of corn flour. That's cold water. It's in the kettle, but it is cold. Just mix it together. Get rid of any little lumps that there are. And then into your onion gravy. Now I maybe won't add it all to start with, we'll see how we get on. Hopefully this shan't take too long to cook up. I always look at my cooker as though I'm not used to using it, considering I've more or less been using the same type of thing for over 25 years. But never mind. Hopefully this won't take too long. Now, I mean, I said to you already, I mean, the gravy's entirely up to yourself. And I'll probably, as I started to say earlier, before that re-editing thing happened, I probably will have people shouting at the telly, gravy with stovies or stovies with sausages. But if nothing else, it'll open up the debate on Twitter again. So when this goes out on Wednesday, actually, don't forget, if we get talking about it, make it hashtag Stoviegate. Might as well get it trending. Right, I'm not going to need any more bistro going into that, because that is quite thick enough, thank you very much. Not as dark as I would like it, but my soy is not handy just now to be adding a bit. So we'll just plate a bit of this up. This another mix in, just in case there's any liquids come away from the bottom or like drained back down. Not a pretty dinner, Stovies, but it tastes good. It's a real like winter warmer. So we're just going to put it on the plate, which is hot. Ouch, ouch. Just good spoonfuls. Lots of sausage in amongst it. Like I say, this has ended up slightly softer than I would normally have it. I could blame the cameraman. He was downloading stuff as well. So we had to wait till we got the SD card back. But that's alright. Good old plateful. And you see there's still 2 or 3 big chunks in it. So, you know, people that don't want baby food should be okay with it. I'll just pop another piece of sausage at the top, and then we will dribble some of the gravy just over the top. Good old onion gravy, which is the sacrilege point of the Stovies, but never mind. For me, it gives it colour. It keeps the cameraman happy too. So, there we have it. Sausage Stovies, and I hope you enjoy them. Thank you.